Hey folks, this is Matt once again. Another review I'm going to do today is of the 1971 film Duel. Now, Duel, like I said, is a 1971 film that was originally an ABC Movie of the Week, and the first feature film directed by Steven Spielberg. Now, Steven Spielberg he had just done TV shows, like he had done episodes of Night Gallery and Columbo, but this is his big chance to do a movie. It was, again, it's about a 74-minute TV movie for ABC, which was a big rating success, so much that they released it in theaters um, overseas. And in order to do so, the 74-minute had to be stretched to 90 minutes, so some scenes were filmed in order to. And this is the 90-minute version. It was written by Richard Matheson. Richard Matheson had done the short story, and then he wrote the teleplay for this. And the story is very simple. It's one of the simplest stories you can have. Dennis Weaver is a man who is traveling to talk to a guy for a meeting, and he does nothing wrong. He's just going down the road, and then this truck, won't let him pass. Then he does pass him just fine. Then the guy passes him, cuts him off, and the guy's wondering what the hell's going on. The truck driver waves him around. He does, and he almost gets hit. Car comes by. And thus starts this cat and mouse chase where Dennis Weaver's character starts getting chased down by this maniac in the truck, which we never see. We never see who's in the truck, and that was Richard Matheson's idea in the short story, and then script, that we never see the driver of the truck. And I remember I first saw this film on VHS, and watching it on DVD, this is a really solid thriller. Steven Spielberg's first directing job, well, first feature film job. And this film was made in like 12, 13 days. It doesn't seem like it because there's a lot of cuts, a lot of very solid directing. And yeah, it's a short story that, has the danger of being boring, but it works because what I like about this film Duel is that it doesn't have much bullshit, meaning uh, there are no big subplots where you get this film, but then you have a subplot that really doesn't matter to the main driving force of the story. The main driving force of the story is Dennis Weaver and his car, this faceless truck driver, and their sort of back and forth cat and mouse chase. Um, there's no silly, stupid subplots that are kind of fit in there, and it's like, okay, we don't care about this. Let's get back to the main story. Now, Dennis Weaver, I haven't seen a lot of stuff that he's done. I know he's in the Orson Welles film Touch of Evil, among other stuff. This is one of the only things I've seen Dennis Weaver in, but Dennis Weaver does a really good job. Um, I think this is a film that I don't know if you can do today. Well, one, because it'd be a ripoff, but um, you have certain kind of similar films, Maximum Overdrive and The Hitcher. I only say kind of similar. Like I say The Hitcher because you have a guy who has his cat and mouse chase, and you have car chases, and so say, well, Maximum Overdrive, trucks and stuff, but not really to that point. I mean, Joyride, which Joyride is okay. The problem I have with Joyride is the ending, which I actually like the ending that was cut out more. That's just me, my preference. Also, the fact that the two main characters, they don't deserve what's going on, but at the same time, they did kind of start it with, you know, talking on the CB to the guy. I think this, I like Joyride okay, but this works much more effective because Dennis Weaver did not do anything wrong. He's just, he's in the middle of nowhere. You have a scene where he calls his wife, and you can kind of tell the guy's sort of, um, he's not the type of guy who wants to have a fight. He's not the type of guy, he's kind of an easygoing type of character. Probably some would call him a little bit of a wimpy character. But he really comes into his own as the movie goes on. And you just have little bits and pieces, like he's being chased down, close calls. There's a scene in a diner where he comes in to wash his face. comes out, the truck is there, and he's wondering, is any one of these guys the driver? Um, the only little problem I had was I don't think you really needed to hear what Dennis Weaver's thinking. Just once in a while, you have this voiceover narration that kind of shows or says what Dennis Weaver's thinking. To be honest, for me personally, you didn't really need that. I think his actions, his expression, and just we could tell that he comes out there's a truck. His reaction, you know it all. So I think it'd be nice if there was a version where you didn't, you know, as few words as possible, because the actions really tell the story, and the narration didn't really bring anything new, didn't bring anything to the movie, in my opinion. You didn't really need to know what he was thinking. You could tell from his expression and his, the situation at hand. But it's very well directed, a lot of different angles and cuts, but not to the point where you're confused. Um, Very technically well made. I mean, the opening shot where you have the point of view of the car back out of the garage and point of view of the car going through all the streets and stuff down that lonesome highway. Of course, it's the 70s, so no CGI, no fakery. It was all shot on location, real cars, real stunt work. It really makes you appreciate that these guys did a really bang-up job on. Nowadays, you probably just get a car, rear projection, or now green screen. You're just doing this. And you can kind of tell and not really feel anything. Here, when it's people actually driving the cars and actually, going faster or slower, you buy into it. And whether it be little scenes like he's at a railroad crossing and the truck's trying to push him into the railroad, or his radiator hose blows out and he's trying to get that car up the hill. You get a bit of suspense, and I think Steven Spielberg uh, is kind of the bare bones, most bare bones Steven Spielberg film in a way that you probably never see again. Because you see Steven Spielberg, and now he'll put a lot of themes and thematic qualities, or it's big and huge budget, or um, you never want to see a Steven Spielberg film again that is just no frills, go for broke, straightforward, just the simplest story told possible. And sometimes I really like the simple stories because it's boom, you go straight ahead and be the movie that you're trying to be. Don't try to be like if I want a candy bar, but then inside the candy bar is apples and oranges. I'm gonna be like, fuck this. That's not what I want. It's disgusting. Get out of my face. But it's not gonna be a long review because Duel really doesn't need a long review. It's the simplest story told possible, but it's well directed. I think Dennis Weaver does a great job. It's nice that you don't see the face of the driver. Uh, the way it's cut and filmed and all the different camera angles keeps the movie, in my opinion, not boring. The only problem, again, little problem I have is you don't need to hear his narration or his voiceover, but that's just me. Bro, a really solid film. I know when the truck at the end meets its fate, you hear a little bit of noise from the truck, and Steven Spielberg actually used that for when the shark gets blown up in Jaws. Um, I'm sure in Jeepers Creepers, the opening, that truck is a big reference to this film. But Duel, very solid flick. I mean, the DVD has a interview with Steven Spielberg, about half an hour long, on making Duel. About 10-minute feature on Steven Spielberg and some of the stuff he directed for TV. Then another about 10-minute interview with Richard Matheson on him writing Duel. Trailer production notes, photo gallery, cast and filmmaker bios. So it's not packed, but you have some features at least. And Duel, it's a really solid film. I just wanted to watch it again, and really good stuff. So this may be actually one of my shortest reviews ever. Um, Solid flick. So thanks for watching. Take care and stay tuned for another review. Later.